Welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be getting ready and playing with a couple of new products that I'm super excited about. I just picked them up the other day from Nordstrom. I picked up the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Eye Filter Palette, and I picked up the Star Aura shade. This is what it looks like. It was funny, I actually had or you can see that I've swatched it, but I haven't worn it yet. I added this to my cart and did like a curbside pickup, so I was scheduled to pick it up that day, and then I saw Mel Thompson's video on it, and she recommended this as her favorite, I believe, and so I was like super excited to pick this up and test this. I'm also going to be playing with some new lipsticks from NARS. So I have these gorgeous, I'm gonna try and get all of them in my hand. These gorgeous, oh, they're so beautiful. Lipsticks from NARS. This is part of their Claudette collection, and I actually received the most beautiful PR package from NARS a couple of weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago. And these are available at Nordstrom as well. So I'm gonna share a little bit about this collection and the inspiration behind it. This video is in partnership with Nordstrom. Again, you guys know Nordstrom is one of my favorite retailers to shop because one, they just carry kind of the best in luxury beauty, and they have the best customer service, period. And I think in this day and age of not being able to really test makeup in store or ordering online a lot more, it's just nice to know that if you get the wrong product or you get the wrong shade, you can make an exchange, no hassles, no questions asked. So I really, really love that about Nordstrom. So we're gonna be playing with those. I do have my foundation on, I've got blush, I've got a little bit of lip balm and a little bit of eyeliner. Got a little bit of eyeliner on my lips. Got a little bit of lip liner on my lips, but just because they're so dry and I needed something. But we are gonna create an eye look. I did grab the other Charlotte Tilbury palette, the Bejeweled Eyes to Hypnotize, just because when looking at the Star Aura mini palette, I think that I'm gonna need a brow highlight because this looks a little too shimmery for me, and I'm gonna probably want something to deepen up my outer corner, but we will see, we don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. We are going to zoom you guys in a little bit closer so we can see a little bit better. So first I'm gonna prime my eyes, and I'm using my favorite primer at the moment. It is the Trish McEvoy primer. It's the Eye Base Essentials, and I have the shade Bare. I actually got this a couple months ago when I was working with Nordstrom on another video, and I love it. So it is thicker than other eye primers that I've used, but it blends so seamlessly and it's light on the eyes. And even though it's like a bare color, it does a great job of canceling out your eyelid. If you have a darker eyelid or veins or deeper eyelids, which most of us have, let's be real, this is gonna brighten it up. It's also going to intensify the color of the shadows that you use because you are gonna be working on a brighter, more even canvas than just your eyelid. It's gonna take whatever color you use and just kind of make it pop a little bit more. It's got great staying power. It really keeps that eyeshadow on all day long. And even though it's a little thicker, you can see that it just blends out so beautifully and evenly. It's basically like a concealer that is super long wearing on the lid. So if you think about using a concealer on your eyelid as a primer, this gives you those same benefits, but it actually stays all day long. You don't have to worry about creasing. And I'm just gonna blend it out with a brush, but you of course could use your fingers. So now we're gonna move on to the eyes, and I want to show you guys closely what this palette looks like. You can see that there are 4 shades. They're all shimmery. There's no mattes in here. You have a really light pink champagne-y shade. Let me put this down so it doesn't blind you. And then you have here a little bit deeper, kind of a golden champagne-y shade. Then you have kind of like a true like champagne shade. Champagne. Can I think of other words to describe this palette? So you got more of a pink, more of a light taupe, more of kind of a gold champagne, and then you've got this like a deeper bronzy shimmery shade. Now I'm gonna go in with the deeper bronzy shimmery shade, and we're gonna work that into the crease. One goal I have this year is to make my videos a little shorter and more concise. So I'm gonna do one eye. So I'm gonna take a tapered blending brush and I'm gonna kind of work this into, oh, okay. So wow, I was not expecting it to go on that deep. And even though it's not really dark, it definitely is a deeper, richer pigmentation than I expected it to be. That is really pretty. Okay, it looks much more shimmery in the palette than it goes onto my skin. It's gorgeous. Now, normally, I don't put a shimmery shade into my crease because, shimmers tend to reflect light, and in the crease, I want to create more dimension there, so I like to use mattes. But This is not going on shimmery on my eyes at all. It really does have like this really soft sheen onto the skin. So I'm just gonna kind of work that, the outer corner crease. I'm actually gonna go ahead and take my brush and I'm gonna kind of run it onto the actual lid. So now that I've got that shade applied all over the outer half and crease, I wanna give you my thoughts on this formula. It is the softest, like it's beautiful. It looks just very diffused and airbrushed on the eyelid. I mean, you do see a little shimmer, but it's more like a sheen, you guys. It's not frosty, it's not metallic, it's not glittery. It is like a matte with a sheen is how I would describe this formula. It's really beautiful. That's so interesting because the day that Mel's video went up and I ordered this and I was going to pick it up curbside, I actually Marco Polo'd her, which is like a video app, and I was like, okay, tell me about this. Did I order the right one? And she's like, yes. And she was like, I can't wait to hear what you think about the formula. So she really intrigued me about it. But when I purchased it and I kind of swatched it, I didn't see like a whole lot on my finger, but it's really beautiful and very unique. So now I get what she was talking about. Okay, next I'm gonna go in with the like pinky champagne shade and we're gonna load up my brush. Oh my gosh, that is so pretty. That is gorgeous. Okay, how am I gonna describe this? I don't wanna say it's sheer because you get a good amount of pigment from it. It's not a sheer shadow. I would say the texture is like a sheer shimmer. It is so beautiful. It almost takes the look of a liquid eyeshadow, to be honest. What I love about liquid eyeshadows is that they just go on and kind of like meld with the skin, and that's what this is doing. Okay, so I've got those two, and honestly, this is kind of a complete eye look, to be honest. And the palette, you know, I have these two other shades. I'll use a little bit of this one. This is the lightest one. I'm gonna use a little bit of this right in the inner corner of the eye to kind of brighten. I think these also would work well on the face as like a highlighter, to be honest, because they're so nice and sheer. Okay, then I'm gonna take the same brush. This is like a little pencil brush, and I'm gonna take that first brown that we used. I'm gonna load this brush up because I want more depth out here. I want it to be a little darker. There is practically no fallout with these shadows. Like, there's no fallout. Okay, and then I'm gonna take this brush and I'm gonna load it up and I'm gonna create a little bit more definition in this crease here. It's not a cut crease. You can't really get a cut crease with this because it's so diffused and soft. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. This is like the ultimate sultry eyeshadow. Like, it is gorgeous. All right, next I'm gonna highlight underneath the brow, and I originally thought that these were gonna be too shimmery to do that. That's why I grabbed this palette, but you know what? We're gonna use this because they're not super shimmery. A little more shimmery than I normally do, but I can make it work. Okay, this might be one that you do actually have to dip into another palette for a brow highlight if you are someone that avoids shimmer under the brow, but I don't think I'm gonna need to do that. I kind of like that. Okay, next I'm gonna take that pencil brow and I'm gonna take the deepest shade and we're gonna run it on our lower lash line to create like a real smoky, sultry lower lash line. And actually, before we do that, I'm gonna line my lower lash line with a one of Charlotte Tilbury's little eye crayons. It's the color Chameleon, and this is the shade Amber Haze. It's a beautiful, warm, amber, kind of honey bronze shade. And I'm gonna create a pretty thick line because I am going to smudge it and smoke it out with shadow. It kind of matches my sweater, does it not? Maybe not as copper as my sweater, but it's definitely complementary. Pretty. Okay, then I'm going to take that pencil brush and we're going to smoke it out with shadow, and we're using the brown from the palette. These shadows remind me that, you know, I think this is like just such a luxury shimmer shadow formula. It really, really does. It's beautiful. It looks like a pro product. I know we're all about like high pigmentation, high shimmer, foiled, like, you know, bright impact. I feel like, you know, like Instagram and YouTube has kind of taken shadow in that direction. I was having this conversation with someone else a few weeks ago, and it kind of moved away from like the softer, like sultry shadows. And this reminds me that I'm totally here for it. Like, I love this. This is beautiful, so beautiful. Okay, next we're gonna go and apply mascara, and I'm gonna prime my lashes with the Lancome Lash Primer. This has become a new favorite. I also love the Dior. They're both great. I can't decide which one I like better, to be honest. And I'm gonna put a little coat, not too much, because I'm gonna be working with the Charlotte Tilbury Push-Up Lashes. And that mascara is pretty dramatic, so I don't feel like I need a whole lot of help from the primer, but I am gonna give that to him because I'm not gonna put liner on the upper lashes. This is a really interesting brush as a mascara. It's kind of more that real fine tooth comb. It really grabs each lash. If you are struggling with your lashes, I highly recommend the Revitalash Lash Conditioner. I've been using that pretty much every single night since September, October, and my lashes would not look like this if I did not. I mean, it's amazing. And not to say that I have like, you know, some amazing lashes, but my lashes on their own, not so much. Okay, so next is on to lips. I do have a little bit of a lip liner on. I believe this is MAC Whirl or Spice. I'll have it listed and linked in the description box, but I did line my lips with that earlier, put a little bit of a clear lip balm on, and we're gonna move on to lipsticks. So I wanna talk real quickly about the NARS Claudette collection. I kind of showed you earlier these lipsticks. I hope I don't drop them and make a real loud bang. They are so beautiful. So the story behind the Claudette collection is Claudette is actually NARS' mother. Is it Francois? I hope I said his name correctly, but it is, Claudette is his mother and his muse, and so he created this collection and packaging inspired by her, and look at her. Can you believe that? Is she not stunningly beautiful? Let me show you my favorite picture of her because she has a kind of more of a neutral lip on. Oh my gosh. Incredibly beautiful. So he has, I got this beautiful like kind of booklet of the collection and the inspiration and who she is as a woman, and it was just really, really touching. I love that. I think how special that, you know, they were able to do this for her. One quote is that she taught me to believe in my own beauty. She follows her instincts and wears what makes her happy. And I really love that because I feel like a lot of us want rules to makeup. You know, I get questions a lot. Can I do this? Can I do that? And my response always is, you know, you can do whatever makes you happy. If you wear something and makes you feel beautiful and you love it, like don't let anyone tell you not to do that. You know, I don't care if they are, you know, Pat McGrath or, you know, some famous celebrity makeup artist. Just do what makes you feel beautiful. And so I really love that. So there's two different formulas here. There is the Audacious Sheer Matte Lipstick, which is really unique. I'm going to show you this one that I have here. This is what the actual product looks like. You can see that the lipstick bullet, it has this interesting texture. It's described as a sheer matte lipstick, and it goes on really soft and powdery and very lightweight. Definitely very matte. There's no creamy finish or, you know, shine to it at all, but it is a very like soft, lightweight matte. It's really, really beautiful. And then we have the Audacious lipstick, which is kind of, you know, this formula is highly pigmented. It's creamy, but it's not overly glossy. It's just a really good traditional, like high impact, rich formula lipstick. And we're gonna use this one today. This is the shade Augustine, and I'm gonna show you what this looks like. It's really beautiful. It's kind of like this rosy muted pink. So pretty. And actually, you know what? We're gonna do two shades. Let's kind of like create some more dimension on the lip. This one's beautiful. So this is the soft matte. I wanna show you what I mean by soft matte. So this is layering it up a couple times. I'm gonna show you a swatch, just one quick swipe. So this is one quick swipe. You can see that it's kind of sheer, very soft matte, and then this is a couple of swipes. So it's definitely buildable if you want more opaque coverage, but you can get a very sheer application from it too. It's so, I mean, even when I look at the texture of my skin with that lipstick, it's blurred. Do you see that? Do you see how like the texture of my skin is softer? Here it's not as noticeable. So really, if you have a lot of texture on your lips, this is gonna kind of help blur that as well. Really, really beautiful collection. Okay, so I'm gonna use the shade Augustine kind of in the center of my lip, and I do want to outline it with a slightly deeper shade. Let's see what I can find here. Okay, this shade is the shade Jeanette. And I'm just gonna put it right next to it. You guys know I'm terrible at swatches, but isn't that beautiful? Look how rich and pigmented that is. So I'm gonna use this kind of around my lips, and then I'm gonna use Augustine all over. And that's all I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna do one line on the bottom lip and then press them together. And then we're gonna take Augustine and go all over and blend the two together. Okay, and depending on how that blends, you obviously don't want a really dark line around the lips with a lighter lipstick. So press together. I'm gonna use my finger as well to kind of blend those two together. So that's pretty. So that's kind of how I created my own lip color from this collection. So beautiful. Oh, I love that. And this is the finished look, you guys. I really love this quad palette. I admitted to Mel the other day, and I can't believe I'm gonna admit this, it's really not that big of a deal, but this is the first Charlotte Tilbury quad palette that I've ever purchased. Can you believe that? I know. I have a few of the larger ones, but I've never purchased a quad palette of hers. I just love like larger palettes. I love palettes that have, you know, at least 9 to 16, 18 shades. Like that's my jam. And I had to get this because I was seeing a lot of hype about it and I love Charlotte Tilbury's products. And then after seeing Mel's review, I was like, okay, definitely. And I highly recommend it. It's wonderful. The formula is very unique in a shimmer. It is soft, it is sultry, it's not too shimmery at all. You can still get depth with that darker shimmer shade like I did. I was worried that I wasn't gonna get depth in the crease, but you get some depth and definition in the crease. So definitely recommend this. The Claudette lipsticks are absolutely beautiful. I will insert an image here of swatches of the collection. I'll do the Audacious first here so you can see the range of shades offered in the Claudette collection. And then I will do the soft mattes next so you can see the range of the soft matte shades. But really, really beautiful. I mean, it's just, I love NARS packaging. It's so beautiful and nice. So anyway, I want to thank Nordstrom for partnering with me on this video. I want to thank you guys for watching and spending, you know, 20 minutes of your day with me. I hope you guys have a fantastic day and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.